here. What's up? We are back. What's up, Brady?
Hey,
How you feeling, man?
man, I'm feeling just slightly above fantastic. Like if something go wrong, I'll just be doing fantastic.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. I like it. I like it, man. Are you ready for episode 8, man? You ready for this?
Episode 8 is great.
Episode 8. Episode 8 is great, man. That's good, man. Greetings to everyone. Shout out to you all showing major love. I know you all are just waiting for this by now. We're going to let Brady do the official greeting.
What's going on, good people? We just want to say to you, everybody out there, konnichiwa, ni hao, hola, and what up?
Love it, love it, love it. I believe, man, that's going to be one of the community faves right there, for real. For real, man. I like it. I like it, man. Here we are. We're at episode 8. We are going to introduce some new things that we have not talked about. And before we get there, let's get a little bit into as far as a quick recap of episode 7. We really got very hands-on, very practical, talking about the ways to place your actual orders, market order versus limit order, what it means to buy and what it means to sell. And if you missed that, again, we had charts on the screen. We were able to show the platforms on the screen. We went into that. We also went into how you can begin to read the charts on a very basic level to get a very basic understanding of what charts mean and how they can give you indicators or information about when to buy, when to sell, etc. So if you missed that, make sure you head back to episode 7. I'm telling you, 7 was a good one. 7 was a good one. 7 was good. Anything you ask that at all, Brett, to that one?
Oh, wait. Before I forget, I almost forgot. We are not financial advisors.
Facts.
Do your own research. Again, we are not financial advisors. We are just trying to open the conversation with you and your friends and family by sharing our conversations that we have every week, and to try to get you from going from a scenario where you may be a little bit tentative getting into the market to where you feel a little bit more comfortable, and then you actually take your first action steps into joining the market and starting to invest for your yourself and your family's future.
Absolutely. Disclaimer is a must. Disclaimer is a must. I like it.
I believe I almost forgot that.
Man, let's get into it. Let's get into it. We again two hot topics that if you haven't been hearing about them, I don't know what to say. I'm sure you all have them.
Where you been if you haven't heard about this?
It's all over the news. It's on main platforms. Your friends, cousins talking about it at the barbershop, at the grocery store, right? And so let's get right into it. Brady, I'm coming to you on this one, man. One of the hot topics, without a doubt, is the topic of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, man, is a hot topic in just today's markets and conversations. And today we're going to break this down. We have one other topic after that, but let's start with crypto here, man. For the person who has, maybe they've heard about it, but don't understand it, or maybe they've never heard about it. What is cryptocurrency, man? Break this down, man. What is it?
All right. So I get asked this question all the time from a lot of different people asking me to just, try to explain it and simplify it down. So what we're going to do today is kind of give a bird's eye view first, just so you can get an overall idea of like where the idea of cryptocurrency came out of and why it kind of has evolved so far. Also, I want to shout out to my dad. My dad recently sent me a text message and said he bought his first piece of Bitcoin. So I just want to shout out to my dad.
That's
because
good.
Like if he can do it, everybody can do it. You know, my dad went from like being totally kind of like confused about like cryptocurrency and like, is it safe and why do people use it and things like that, to me, like explaining to him over a number of times, step by step. And then the other day he just sent me a text like, just bought my first Bitcoin. What you think about that?
Nice.
But yeah, so going into cryptocurrency, the way that I like to kind of walk people along that path, knowledge-wise, is first understanding kind of a little bit of the history of currency before we get to the cryptocurrency, and that helps kind of like connect the dots. So way back in history, let's go like all the way back to before Roman times, right? So gold and silver, for example, have been staples that the entire planet has used for currency, for trading, for things that they need and things like that over the years. One of the reasons why is because it's a metal that like you can't create more of. There's only like so much of it in the planet. And once you dig it all up, that's it. Then it's just trading from person to person based on the value of now all of it's out of the ground. So we know there's none left once, we get to that point. And so that's kind of like some of the early stages of currency. Then moving forward a little bit to Roman type of time era, when we started, when like coins started becoming more popular, and they would like stamp the emperor, or whoever was in charge, they'd stamp his face on the coin. And so then one of the things that started happening was that there's always, with every new like part of technology, there's always, unfortunately, some segment of the population that's trying to game the system or trying to scam the system, right? So if you think about the coins like a quarter, let's just use quarter because I can't remember what they used in Roman times, but their base currency, let's just say it was the size of a quarter. What you then started having was people that were trying to scam the system. They were starting to shave off around the edge of the quarter and take the metal that was off of the edge, and they would do that with hundreds and hundreds of coins, and then they take those scrap pieces, melt those down, and try to make more coins out of them. So they were basically like counterfeiting or like debasing the currency and trying to get away with selling people that same quarter that they shaved down for the same amount, and then getting away with melting other quarters, so to speak. And so whenever a nation does that and starts like debasing the value of their currency, then it starts becoming like a downswing in that empire. So then fast forward to, to the dollar, right? So the dollar used to be tied to actual gold, where like it used to be a requirement of banks to hold the amount of gold that they had in dollars out in the market, like in your account, to where you could actually go into the bank way back in the day and change your dollars in, and they would have to give you the amount of gold. So that was called the gold standard. And so in the 70s, President Nixon took us off of the gold standard, seemingly temporarily, and we just were able to print more money and not be held to the standard of keeping as much gold as we had printed money, to where it was even. And then we just started printing money, and then we never got back to that standard of being accountable, of having as much gold in our possession as we printed dollars, and then just went out of control, right? And so
this Caribbean jerk chicken makes me think maybe we should visit the islands.
Come on, Dad! Hurry up! I'm good right here.
Try Zaxby's Caribbean Jerk Sandwich with hand-breaded chicken, banana peppers, and the tropical kick of Caribbean Jerk sauce. The new Caribbean Jerk Sandwich meal and Caribbean Jerk boneless wings. 2 more reasons you're going to get a kick out of Zaxby's.
With it going out of control, that's where like quantitative easing, if you've heard that word, that's when like the government prints a bunch of money to try to like help out the nation because like something bad is going on. So the most recent thing is when we had the pandemic and everybody got stimulus checks. That was just money that was printed out of nowhere. People didn't work for that money. The government basically just like added ones and zeros and said, here's the money to everybody, right? So the problem with that is that the more money that we print, the less valuable the dollar becomes over time because we're not tied to any standard. And so cryptocurrency, we're just going to use Bitcoin as the example right now. Although there are thousands of cryptocurrencies, right now we're just talking about Bitcoin because it's like the first big boy on the block or big girl on the block to kind of push past all of the other competition. Think about it very similar to when the .com boom was happening, and then you had like Yahoo, Bing, Ask Jeeves, and Google. They were all competing to be who was going to be the #1 search engine. And then Google pretty much beat out everybody. So that's like Bitcoin, to put it in a different perspective. So Bitcoin, the difference between that and the dollar, for example, is there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that's created. And the only reason why, for example, that this piece of paper, I can't go into like, let's say like Home Depot. I can't go into Home Depot and pay for my goods with this piece of paper, but I can pay for it with $1. Only reason is because we trust that $1 is actually worth $1, but it's still paper, right? So we're still talking about 2 pieces of paper, and that trust is what basically our whole government's foundation is set upon. We trust that I can give you $1 and it'll still hold up to give me $1 worth of goods, or I can give you $100, it'll still buy $100 worth of goods. So Bitcoin only has a certain amount that's created, and also the currency is built on trust. That's what every currency in the world is built on, the trust that it's backed by something. It's backed by people that believe in the value of that currency. So Bitcoin initially came out to try to solve the problem or the challenge of we're printing all of this money and it's not held to any standard of like keeping a certain amount available. And so there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that will ever be created, and it gets released, or we call it mining Bitcoin. It gets released into like the market, into the system at periodic time periods. And so as people start believing and trusting that Bitcoin can be a future or the future, depending on how much you believe in it, can be the future of currency, the more adoption it gets, then more people buy into it and they start trading their dollars for Bitcoin. And the more and more that's happening, like Bitcoin first started off, it was under $1 for Bitcoin. And now it's like, it's recently dipped down a good bit, but right now it's around like $30,000 for one. But it started off as $1 or under $1 for one. So that's a little bit of the history. I'll let you like respond just to see if like whatever questions along the way as we explain this for the people.
Now, I got it. Now, definitely from a historical breakdown, that makes sense what you were sharing there. I guess my question would be, okay, so given the history of what you broke down, like in today's times, what do we do with the information? Like, how is it used? You know, like today, like how is that process work? Like, was it used? And also with that, like, where do you potentially? No one is guessing the future here by any means, but like, how about take the information and use it now? And what do you potentially like see it going?
Yeah, so that's a good question. First, let me touch on how we get access to Bitcoin. A lot of I remember when I was explaining to my dad, he was like, "But where is the Bitcoin?" He was like, "How do I hold it?" And, so think about if we go back to like our stock conversations, right? Talk to people at home. Think about like the way that you get access to the stock market is going through a brokerage house. And brokerage house is just a fancy word for the company or the corporation or business that allows you access to the stock market. So examples of brokerage houses would be like Robinhood, E-Trade, Scottrade. I think Scottrade actually got bought out. But so all of those different ones that just give you access, those are brokerage houses. In cryptocurrency, the biggest one right now is like Coinbase, you might have heard of them, and Robinhood. Those are two of the bigger ones in that space. And they just are the same way they give you access to the cryptocurrency market. And so you would start an account with one of those, and then you would load like money into your actual dollars into your cryptocurrency account, and then you could decide on the long menu of different cryptocurrencies that you would like to turn your dollars into that cryptocurrency. But right now we're just talking about Bitcoin. So that's how you get access to it. How it's used is a couple different ways. Sometimes people talk about it and think about it in the sense of Bitcoin is like digital gold, similar to digital gold, like it helps store value because over time, inflation will like wear down the buying power of our dollars. So that's why, like, for example, when I first started driving, gas was like 72 cents a gallon. What? And now 72. Do you remember how much it was when you started driving?
Well, you like 20 years older than me, so I don't really know.
I do. I remember the first time like I actually could fill up the car by myself. And I'm to really mess with y'all. When the first time I was getting gas, you could go and pump your gas and they would just trust you to walk into the gas station and pay for it afterwards. Nowadays, they're like, nah, player, I'm gonna need that money right now.
Definitely.
Before you get to it. But so now you think about like going from 72 cents a gallon or 74 cents a gallon to now it's like touching $4 a gallon, right? Mm-hmm. That's inflation. It's the same 1 gallon of gas, but now it costs so much more because for different factors, our dollar is worth less and less every 5-10 years because of inflation and us printing money out. And so, so where was I going with that? I was going somewhere with that.
Potential uses for it.
Oh, yeah. So store value. And then also, eventually, as more and more adoption or trust starts happening with this new type of currency, bigger businesses start buying into the ideas to where you can now like buy goods and services with Bitcoin. I saw on eBay that you can actually purchase things off of eBay, if I'm not mistaken, with Bitcoin now. And I remember the first time I actually saw a sign in a business that said we accept Bitcoin. I was doing some work in St. Pete, Florida, and I went into like this local coffee shop, and they had a sign. And this was like before I even owned it. I think this was like oh no, I mean I guess I'd just barely started right around there. But yeah, I remember seeing like at the coffee shop at the counter, they were like, we also accept Bitcoin. But I didn't even know how you could like pay for it with actual. I had just like started getting some, but I didn't even know that like it was out there like that. And then since then, I think like Tesla has come out with an announcement saying that you can like buy Teslas in Bitcoin. They might have rolled some of that back a little bit, but I remember at one time there was this buzz about being able to buy a Tesla with Bitcoin. So those are some of the use cases that have been out.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So that makes sense regarding what you're breaking down there and some of the use cases. So I have to ask you this.
This Caribbean jerk chicken makes me think maybe we should visit the islands. Islands.
Come on, Dad! Hurry up!
I'm good right here.
Try Zaxby's Caribbean Jerk Sandwich with hand-breaded chicken, banana peppers, and the tropical kick of Caribbean Jerk sauce. The new Caribbean Jerk Sandwich meal and Caribbean Jerk boneless wings. 2 more reasons you're going to get a kick out of Zaxby's.
And I hope you are, again, you're getting value. I know you all already are. Make sure you go below, like, comment, subscribe on this video. Like, this is it. So we want to always bring you all the hotness, and this is the hotness. Breaking it down for sure. And so I wanna do something here. I wanna tie in a different hot topic to this topic, and to know if there's any connection here. So we talked about cryptocurrency, NFTs. NFTs are another like hot topic. People are talking about like, are these two things connected? Like, what is an NFT? Like, how does all that work together?
Yeah, so they are in the same family. They are very closely related, kind of in the realm of the metaverse, if you've heard about that. I actually, since the beginning of our first season, I did not own any NFTs, but I was interested in the space. Now I actually have gone through the process for our viewers, and I've actually purchased 3 different NFTs. So just to give an overall, like a bird's eye view of NFTs for everybody, to try to make it as simple as possible. NFTs, they stand for non-fungible tokens. That's just like a fancy way for me to explain it. So like it seems highbrow at first, but then I'm going to bring it down and just go easily for the people. So, but that's just so you know, everyone out there knows what it stands for. What that means is like, it's an authentic one of one. So when we think about, so some of our population go all the way back to, if you remember, Beanie Babies. So Beanie Babies, way back when, they were like little plush animals that for whatever reason, you know, there were certain ones that were available and certain ones they made, you know, like more of or less of, and the ones they made less of were more valuable. But people went crazy about these Beanie Babies, little stuffed animals, and they started selling for crazy amounts. Like, it's a little stuffed animal that you would probably win at like a fair or a festival, but people would go crazy for them, trying to find them in the stores, and they were selling for like hundreds of dollars for the rarer ones. And then flash forward a little bit more just to connect it to a different age frame of our audience. Think about baseball cards and basketball cards. So I came from a baseball background, but a lot of people are popular or like basketball. So think about like if you had a Michael Jordan rookie card.
Yep.
So when Michael Jordan first came into the league, nobody knew really if he was going to be Michael Jordan or not. He was just another kid that made it into the league that wanted to prove himself. But if you got like a bunch of rookie cards from everybody that was a rookie that year, some people made it. Some people you've never heard of ever since then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So NFTs are in that stage right now. They're basically like digital pictures. Now, let me take a step back. Right now, I'm going to be honest with the people. Right now, NFTs are stupid. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you. It's people, myself included, paying hundreds to thousands of dollars for digital pictures that are like numbered in a series. So like, let's say if they only make like 10,000 of them, you know without question whether yours is like number 1 of 10,000 or number 300 of 10,000, like that. It's digitally recorded on the blockchain. But just think about that as like digital verification that can't be faked. That's what the blockchain is. That's the overview of the blockchain. And different blockchains have different NFTs that don't necessarily cross over into other blockchains. So think about baseball cards are only important to people that trust and love baseball. And basketball cards are only important to people that trust and love basketball, right? So you might get a Michael Jordan rookie card and you might give it to someone. Let's say you give it to someone that doesn't care at all about basketball, maybe not even heard about Michael Jordan. It makes no difference to them. It's not valuable. But to that community of basketball people, you get a Michael Jordan rookie card, it's worth a lot of money. So depending on the community, NFTs are valuable right now to that community. And basically what I've found out, and again, I'm just early on in the process. I've only owned NFTs, like actually going through the process of creating a digital wallet, getting to the blockchain to be able to find where they actually sell NFTs was a cool process of just knowledge. And then actually the process of purchasing the NFTs was pretty cool. So, but yeah, so it's only valuable to the people in that community. And right now the community is really based off of how big of a Twitter following you can get your NFT idea to have. And also on Discord, how big of a community you can grow before you launch your series of digital pictures. And it might be like some groups come out with like the most popular like range of number of pictures would be like 10,000 or maybe like 8,000 or 5,000. And that's the whole collection. So like, for example, in one of the NFT groups that I own a digital picture of, there's only 10,000 that exist in the world. And so people might have heard of like Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? There's only a certain amount of those pictures that exist in the world. And for whatever reason, big communities flocked to them earlier on this year and just exploded the value because there's only a certain amount of those. And it became like a status symbol. It's basically a way to like flex and show off, like when people used to wear like, when the AirPods came out and then everybody was taking selfie and then just had to turn this way just a little bit to show that they had the AirPods in. It was just it's just another way to flex on Instagram and Twitter. That's basically like the new digital way. That's where it is right now.
Got you. NFTs, non-fungible tokens. That's good. That's good. So here it is. So we got into cryptocurrency. We got into NFTs. And so I guarantee you all, you want to go back and you want to rewatched this, because sometimes whenever we get new information, right? So Brett is of course in this case much heavier invested into crypto and NFTs than I am. So it's good to rewatch things like this when you're learning something new or have somewhat of an interest in them, to make sure you kind of understand, because you should always understand the investment into an asset before you invest into it. So for those of you who have been wondering, man, what do I do? What is this? I hope that gives you a great, I know it gives you a greater understanding of how cryptocurrency works, the history. Yep.
Oh, one thing that I left out is like on the path of how to get access to it, right? So you have to turn your dollars into the currency that is used in that NFT platform. So for example, some of the two main ones that people might hear about a little bit are Ethereum and Solana. So Ethereum and Solana are two platforms in the cryptocurrency space that people build NFTs and build different things off of. Think about it like the Apple Store. Like people just build different apps in the Apple Store or the Android, Google Marketplace, thing like that. And so you have to turn your dollars into that currency. So turn it into Ethereum or Ether, or turn your dollars into Solana or Sol. And basically think about that, like if you've ever taken your kids to like Chuck E. Cheese, and we used to like either like swipe our card or give like the machine some money, and then they would spit out like Chuck E. Cheese coins that had like a little picture of a mouse on them. But like those coins are only good in the Chuck E. Cheese ecosystem. Like you can't take these coins and go to Home Depot, go to Walmart and try to pay for your food or whatever with Chuck E. Cheese coins. They only work in that ecosystem. So when you change your dollars into the cryptocurrency of that NFT platform, whether it be like Ethereum or Solana, you can only use it to buy NFTs on that platform.
Got you. Nice, man. Nice, man. Hey, you have broken this down today. You have broken it down, man, for the audience. Hey, what are some ways, some action items or homework that people can take to, just further go into this as a new topic to them? What's some homework for them?
Yeah, and I understand that it is a bit confusing because I went through it for the community, for you all. I was like, I'm going to make a goal of going through the whole process of how to buy an NFT to see how it's working and see what this whole metaverse thing is all about. So one of the things, just a couple things that I would do is to YouTube, like cryptocurrency easily explained, or YouTube NFTs easily explained, or NFTs made simple, or cryptocurrency made simple, and just start watching a lot of videos and you'll start seeing similarities. And maybe the way that we explained it is a little bit different that connects with some people, and some people need it explained a different way because of the different ways that our minds work. And so like when you start watching a lot of videos, something's going to click the way that we explain it, and then it'll make it a lot easier for you to digest. But so we just wanted to give you a real bird's eye view to make you a little bit more comfortable, at least when you start hearing a lot of your friends or people start talking about it, you'll have some kind of inkling of what's going on.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Listen, for all of you who I know you learned some things today, make sure you go ahead and like this video if you haven't already. Make sure you drop some comments down below, and you share with somebody else who also may have an interest in this area. I know you know somebody, so make sure to share it with them. Listen, we're just continuing to grow. We're continuing the hotness. Ready? That's a wrap, man. Episode 8, season 1, episode 8, man. That's it, man. You want to give me the official goodbye here?
All right, so to the people, we love y'all. We want to say sayonara, zaijian, adios, and we'll holla!
see y'all episode 9. More of this hotness. Peace.